Okay, I'm gonna give myself the kiss of death again and say this'll be a nice short one. This'll probably be a nice short one. So for this nifty little bit of code that I didn't know existed, order after. So let's just duplicate our weapon proficiency. But I'm gonna call it equip requirements or requirement, something like that. So this is an add-on for the Weapon Proficiency plugin that I've just made. Actors may only equip weapons within their proficiency level. Let's just get rid of all these parameters for now. If I need them, I can just rip them off of that one. It'll probably be weapon note tags. Let's make, yeah, weapons and armors make sense. Weapon armor note tags. Let's say weapon proficiency requirement. X is the weapon proficiency level. Equip requirement. None of that for now. Right, and now we're into the code. We can just get rid of all this. And then let's add our little thing here just to see what it does. Order after weapon proficiency. Hopefully it doesn't require the, well, if it requires the JS, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, let's leave that in case I do want to add some kind of parameter. So what happens when we add this? Try and put it above it, what happens? Any warnings? Is this even a thing? How do I use the part? Oh, so okay, let's test this. If it says it just makes it load after that. Oh, the tag is a suggestion. Yeah, it doesn't actually have any any warning or anything. Okay then. Let's see, weapon. We'll add a couple more items here now since we're trying to do something. This should probably be the ones at the end. Dragon and dragon. What am I doing? Okay, Dragon Blade, blah blah blah. That means it's easy for me to remember what to change here. It requires level 2, so you shouldn't be able to equip it right at the start. Dagger? 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 Let's say level 2 as well. So where would we go about enforcing this? Create item window. Window, equip item. It's maybe slot. No, item window is what we're looking for actually. It's is enabled, is automatically set to true, but we want to overwrite this. Why is this being? Does that mean? I wonder if this means that you can have something, but it doesn't have to be there. Why is it? Yeah, let's find out. Why is the parameter comment? Oh, okay. So it's commented out because it's not being used in here, but they didn't want to just leave it out because it is being passed in. So that's cool. Just a notice, and it's useful for me because I will be using it in here. Oh, wrong place. We want to be changing it in our script or plugin. So do we have an actor in this window? This actor, lovely. And now let's see what we have in here. Okay, weapon proficiency level. You know what? That's silly. We don't have an armor proficiency, so it's just the weapon note tag. Um, So you know what? Maybe we should be making an alias of this. Window equip item equals. Oh. So if item is not a weapon, so we'll say data manager dot is weapon, but we want to negate this. So if it's not a weapon, we will simply call the regular code and return. But if it is a weapon, we can get here and let's just console log this out. It might be something like we type ID and then we can pass that in here. Weapon proficiency level equals this, and then we can check the item to see if it requires something. But for now, let's just make sure that we've got this part working. So let's see. Yep, type ID. Seems like it's fine so far. Check if the item is a weapon. So that's the first check we're doing. Make sure it actually has a requirement, because if it doesn't, then we just want to return anyway. Equals item dot meta dot, and then what did we call this? Proficiency requirement. So we'll say if the weapon proficiency level requirement exists, we want to, when we're working with meta, we need to cast it as whatever we want to use it as. So that's number. And if there is no requirement, we will call the regular is enabled and then return. But if we make it down here, then it is a weapon, it does have a requirement, and we need to check if they pass that requirement. So then we just return weapon proficiency level is greater than or equal to the weapon proficiency level requirement. So if this fails, if their level isn't high enough, it will return false, meaning it's not enabled. Otherwise, it will be true, and it will be able to equip it. Hmm. Oh, you know what? This returns a value. And so instead of returning this, we probably need to be returning this. Yeah, that makes sense, because this is essentially just what we're capturing here, but it is a separate function. So this will run on its own and then will do nothing. and then we were returning nothing, which is false. So maybe now we'll see something. Oh, wrong thing. Okay, so we can equip the two crappy basic items, but we can't equip these. So let's level up. So during the fight, we saw that he raised the sword level to 5. So let's check the equip. Now he can use the Dragon Blade, and he still can't use the dagger. So let's equip the knife. We'll use strong attack. Got a feeling this will only give him 20, which is annoying. I think you need 25 to level up. Right, we go again. There we go. Dagger level 2. Sadly, we need to see this through. So, he is now level 2 with the dagger. And we can equip the Dragon Dagger now. Cool. So, is there anywhere else that we need to worry about equipping items? Maybe it's can equip. Maybe putting this in the scene is just a nice little safety check to be like, we shouldn't even allow them to do it. But really, the problem is maybe something like this where we need to check if they can even use it. Because then if we try and forcefully equip some item while in a menu somewhere by doing change weapon, no, change equipment. If we try and say read, change the weapon to the Dragon Blade. This is what we really need to catch. You shouldn't be able to do this even if it is done via the game. So, talk to them. Hold on, what did I even do? Change. So what did that not work? Huh? The party must have the specified item. So in an event like this, I'm guessing what you do is change weapon, add the Dragon Blade, and then immediately after you try and equip it. Boom. Okay, so now he's got the Dragon Blade, even though he shouldn't. Because when we unequip it, now the game says, oh, you can't do that. You don't have the high enough proficiency. So maybe it's this thing. We'll take this and just give it a try. So we're going to have to alias this again. game battler base can equip weapon. So because this just returns like this, we need to do something before it. We're going to do a lot of the same stuff here. So we are saying can equip weapons, so we don't have to do a safety check of if it's a weapon, because if it's getting to this point, I assume we're already sure that it's a weapon. So we will say check if the weapon has proficiency requirement. If you start copy and pasting code, that might be an indicator that we should be making some extra methods for it. So where should we be adding that? I need to be aware. This is game battler base we're working with, and it was game actor we added all this stuff to. So if we start using, or if we want to use some of these methods, we need to check if this is the instance of game actor. So where should this go? Maybe if I do weapon proficiency equip requirement is equal to that or that, and then just use this weapon has proficiency requirement. Say get weapon proficiency requirement, and it can just return this. Pass in the item, so then that still works, and then we can just call this again. Then this makes me think there probably should be a better way of doing this as well. If this instance of game actor, so if that is not true, return false. maybe we just return the regular thing. So if it's not a game actor, we'll just return whatever the regular code is here, which is this. Hmm. Let's make another one, and we'll just say, can battler equip weapon? Maybe can actor equip weapon? We'll just send it through as an actor. Can we do this as game actor within JavaScript? Maybe we don't need that. We just come up here, weapon proficiency level requirement equals this. Equals so can actor equip weapon. We're just going to pass in this actor and then the item, and this is now handling this for us. You know what, I probably should have kept that. Get weapon proficiency requirement. Yeah, and then we'll just use that here instead. Pass in weapon. safety check. Weapon proficiency requirement is not a thing. True. And the reason this would be true is if there's no requirement, then they can equip it. But if this doesn't trigger, then we will continue on and actually try and compare. I guess we can just return that instead. And then we'll do the same thing here. Can equip equals can act or equip weapon. Now this is where it might break. I'm going to pass in this and hope that it goes up the line. So from game battler base up to game battler, then up to game actor. Pass in the item. So if they can't equip, then we will turn false. But if none of this triggers, we will just reach the can equip at the bottom. And then we'll run that because we still want the original code to run, but only if all of these other things don't trigger. Now let's see how far we get. Let's see. Maybe it'll break. So I click and it didn't equip. It unequipped him and then the weapon disappeared. Huh? Oh, is it because he can't equip it that it's not in the window now? Well, I don't like that, so we'll need to change that. So how do we find out the reason for it not being in the window? So let's see, window equip item. This, oh, there we go, right there. If they can't equip it, it just removes it. So this is the problem. Now we need to figure out a smart way to still have the logic in there, preferably not overwriting it. Window equip item includes. So what are we trying to do? I will need to check if item is null and then return. Oh, okay, it's true if it's null, fair enough. And then I will want to perform these two. If the item has some kind of weapon proficiency. So let's see if weapon proficiency. get weapon proficiency requirement item. Oh, also, so if it's not a weapon, just return whatever the regular includes would be, because we're only interested in weapons. So if it gets past that, we'll say, does it have some kind of proficiency requirement? So we'll say, if proficiency requirement exists, or maybe if it doesn't, we will return the regular includes. But if there is a requirement, then we will just ask these two lines. I think that would cover it, because what we're saying is, if it's a weapon and if it has a requirement, we still want to show it in this window, and we don't care if they can equip it or not. So let's grab some items. So there we go, we're back to, you can't, if you can't equip it, then it's still showing. You know what, just to do a better test, let's add some items that they really can't equip. We'll add a staff and an axe. So these shouldn't appear in the menu. Hand axe and staff. Right, so it's not good enough. The logic isn't good enough. We've gotten rid of the part that says can they use it, so I guess that makes sense. Meets item conditions. Meets usable. Right, yeah, we got rid of this can equip. So it says what did we overwrite? Can equip. We overwrote can equip weapon. So it still runs as the equip type OK, right? Well, I do need to return that though. So hand axe and wooden staff are somehow getting through, and they shouldn't. So let's have a look. Let's see what's going wrong. We'll say console.log, not an actor. Console.log. No weapon requirement. You know what, it's more likely to be the includes, now that I'm thinking about it. This is simply true or false if it's enabled. There's no requirement, it calls the regular thing. Otherwise, huh? Yeah, okay, I see the problem. So there is no requirement on those weapons, so then it says if they're an actor and they have some kind of equip type, then that's fine. Um, I think this is it. I think if there is a requirement, then we return the bottom part, and then yeah. So if there is a requirement, okay, you know what? We still want to know if they can equip it or not. So maybe this is just the wrong way of going about it. That doesn't even look like what I changed. Where is there was some middle part to this, wasn't it? Oh, it's yeah, wrong place. This is what I was, yeah. Mm. So I think this is probably right. The whole can equip weapon thing. Maybe I just need this, the original. So be this. If this is okay, and this actor dot is equip weapon type okay. Now I feel like that's not so good because if someone has overwritten can equip weapon like I have, then it's bypassing that. So maybe I guess maybe we can scrap this and just say it's not in the list if you just can't see it in the list. It's this actor. Okay. So let's get rid of the includes. Yep, the staff and the hand axe are still in there. Interesting. So let's comment that out. Maybe it was the bottom part that was to blame. Okay, interesting. So this logic here is causing that to go through for some reason. So let's say non-actor. No prof requirement. Can't equip. And we'll need to console log the item at the start, because it's going to blast out quite a few items all at once, and we need to know what we're looking at. No requirement. Yeah, that's fine. Where was the dragon one? Staff, flail, axe, dagger. Okay, so here it says can't equip. So here it says there's no proficiency requirement for the staff, and it okay. It's returning is enabled. It's the wrong call. Okay. Wow. So suddenly it's not there. Which is good to see. I'll get rid of these because my screen is being blasted right now. So we come here. We have an axe and a staff. They're not being shown in the menu, but the ones that are locked out are being shown in the menu. And let's just try and forcefully add the Dragon Blade. We click, check equipment, nothing because it couldn't equip it. Alright, this might be done then. This might be done. Let's see, a bit of cleanup. Take out the console logs. All good. And maybe just put some headers in. Equip item. Yep. Seems like it's done then. So there's the first add-on to the Weapon Proficiency script. All it does is takes what we did from the previous video and says you can't equip a weapon unless you have the proper proficiency. Yeah, fairly short one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.